welcome to episode 17 of So I've Been Told. Earlier today, actually, I sat down with Jordan Serrano of California Cousins. If you don't know about that band, you should know about that band because they're awesome. They're a 3, sometimes 4-piece emo band from right here in Rochester. And Jordan is an awesome dude, and we had a lot of fun hanging out and chatting today. So I'm not going to bore you with a long intro. I'm just going to go right into the conversation that he and I had. Hope you enjoy it. Talk to you guys afterwards. Bye. So, Jordan.
Yes.
So how did you first get into punk rock and underground music and DIY and whatever?
So, I would say I always think a lot about how I could have gone so many different ways with my musical taste.
Yeah.
Because in middle school, I was jamming a lot of Good Charlotte. I was jamming a lot of Linkin Park, things like that.
Word. Well, how old are you, too, if you don't mind telling the podcast universe?
It's a secret, but I'm 25.
Okay, word.
Yeah, so I was listening to a lot of that stuff. My first show that I ever went to was Newfound Glory, Good Charlotte, and Less Than Jake.
Dude, that's not a bad first show.
That's not a bad first show, right?
Good Charlotte's whatever, but
yeah.
Newfound Glory is still awesome.
Yeah.
And Less Than Jake's top 3 favorite ska bands. So.
And it was a good time. I went with my mom and my sister. It was at the Blue Cross Arena, if you can believe that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in the day.
So Good Charlotte headlined that tour, or was it?
Yeah,
okay.
It was like the Young and the Hopeless tour.
Oh,
it was.
They were a big deal.
Shit. Yeah, they were a huge deal. So I feel like maybe that was the turning point. Maybe that was why I didn't go full nu metal in middle school and then continue down that path. And instead, I kind of went down a different path. I also always really looked up to. There's a couple kids in 8th grade that were in bands and stuff. And I thought that was fucking crazy. So
is it anybody that we know that's still in this?
Yeah, Ryan Maher.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's in a band with Ian Granger and
Gunnar Stahl.
Yeah, back in the day.
Stahl.
Yeah, pre Gunnar Stahl. It was I'm talking Fight For It. I'm talking Break the Glass. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff like that, and it's kind of funny thinking about it now because I don't know, he's still in bands and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're still sick.
Yeah.
And, so I always thought that was really cool. So I always wanted to do that. And I think in 8th grade, I went to, some campfire where a lot of, the cool punk kids from school were at. And they were, doing Against Me covers.
Nice.
And then the next day I bought As the Eternal Cowboy.
Nice.
And, it was all downhill from there.
What nu metal bands do you still secretly love and go back to? We've all got them.
Well, I feel like Linkin Park was my main. Slipknot is still incredible. I don't listen to I don't listen to any I'll go back and visit the albums that I listen to, but I haven't kept up with any of those bands.
Which Linkin Park record?
Hybrid Theory for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Meteora was also sick.
Yeah.
And that's where I stopped following.
See, I was already I'm 5 years older than you, so I had already I heard Meteora, but I was kind of already over it.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I think you might want to revisit it.
I'll have to. Dude, I still think Chester's got a really rad voice. Could you imagine his voice in a legit a Scrams band?
Yo, that would be crazy.
Dude, that's what we got to do. We got to track that guy down and start a Scrams side project.
Call me up if you're listening, Chester. Hit me up.
Dude, I think that band would be so much better if it just didn't have any rap at all. I don't think that guy's good. He's just not a good rapper.
He's a little woke here and there. He's a little bit here and there, but I'll have to probably agree with that.
Yeah.
It could be better.
Yeah.
The drummer though, they need to step their game up.
Yeah.
I don't know who their drummer is, but I think they could do better.
I mean, you can't all be. I couldn't think of the guy's name. The guy from from Limp Bizkit.
Oh, yeah. True.
Limp Bizkit comes up like a weird amount of times on this podcast because I secretly love Limp Bizkit. Well, I guess it's not a secret anymore.
Not a secret. The secret's
it's out. It's been out for a long time. So, when did you start playing in bands?
So in I think in 8th grade, I pretended I was in a band, and I'm pretty sure I told I think we had to tell something about ourselves in tech class, first day of school in 8th grade, and I was like, yeah, I'm in this band. I forget what I called it, but
California Cousins.
Yeah, I'm in this band, California Cousins. Yeah. So I used to pretend. I think I started playing guitar in 9th grade, and then I was in a band that played one show in 11th grade, and still jammed with them for a while. And I wasn't. California Cousins was really my first actual band that's
nice.
Played shows.
Yeah. What was the name of the show the band that played one show?
Punch Your Lights Out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, killer.
Yeah.
It was our drummer's birthday party, and it was in his basement.
Nice.
It was sick.
Did you play covers?
We played "Best of Me" by
Starting Line.
Starting Line. Yep.
Starting Line's great.
And then we played 2 or 3 originals, and that was our whole set.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool you had originals. Do you ever record those?
We have one recorded somewhere. It's got a sick riff. It's like I still remember how to play it if you want me to bust it out sometime.
You should. I mean, there's an acoustic guitar right there if you want to do it live for everyone listening to the podcast. That would be some rare B-side.
That's a deep
shit.
cut right there.
Yeah, Punch Your Lights Out. What year did you? Wow, I don't.
Me too.
Talk. What year did you guys start California Cousins? Oh wait, back up. Were any of the members of Punch Your Lights Out?
Oh, okay. So here's a good story.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that good. It's probably not that interesting. Anyways, Christian played bass for us for one day. He came to one practice. I remember we practiced or whatever. It seemed good. I don't know why we didn't continue hanging out with him or jamming with him, but it just didn't happen for some reason. But we I just remembered another band I was in. Anyways,
you come back to it.
We'll come
That's
back
what this is all about.
Yeah. So we tried him out for one day. I remember after practice, he got on guitar and he played a cover of "Damn It" for us, and
nice.
That was sick.
Yeah.
I don't know why it happened, but I was rocking out. I'm pretty sure I hit my head on the ceiling because I was jumping around and stuff.
Nice.
And then we used to always hang out at Wegmans after practice. So we just we went to Wegmans, did a couple laps, and then I think we snuck into the Target that they were building on Chili Ave at the time. And
some real punk shit.
Yeah, some real punk shit. And after that we didn't jam with Christian, and I don't know why. Sorry, Christian.
Just disappeared.
Yeah.
Dude, one time I was gonna be in a band with Christian.
One
time. It was the same thing. We hung out and jammed once, and then it just never happened again. I went and was gonna start a screamo band with Christian and Juan, and
so it's Christian's fault essentially.
Yeah.
Was that Iberia? Were you gonna be in that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if there was a name. I just remember we jammed once.
Yeah.
And then we just
I
never
feel like that
never
was
talked about it
Iberia,
again.
Which should come back because he has they have 2 or 3 songs recorded, and they're
nice.
They're pretty awesome. I
Nice.
never did anything with it though.
What was the other band that you were in?
Oh, I was in a band called All the Pandas Are Dead, and that was freshman year of college, I think. And
I think, did that have any online presence? Because that sounds vaguely familiar. I saw something on Facebook.
We had a
or something.
Facebook, with 2 songs recorded, and we played. I think the only shows we played were at Love and Cup, and it was like Love and Cup. It was like a battle of the bands. I forget what it was exactly what it was called. It was real weird. It was very college of us, and Christian was in that band too. Nice. Actually, he played bass. I played guitar and sang, and then we were jamming with 2 other people, and it was pretty awesome for the time. Like it was very fun, and like those dudes we were jamming with were super talented, but it just never really like became a thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So we played those Love and Cup Idol shows. I think we got like to the semifinals.
Oh, nice.
So
it's impressive.
Big things, yeah. And I remember like there was like challenges each week, so you had to like learn a cover, and like it could be like a specific color cover. Like you'd have to play a ballad one week.
Oh wow.
I remember the cover we did. I think we had to do a Billy Joel cover, and we did "Still Rock and Roll to Me."
Word.
Which is a sick song.
Yeah, Billy Joel's great.
Yeah, Billy Joel's awesome.
I got love for Billy Joel.
Yeah, me too.
Nice. So did that like flow into the formation of Cali Cousins, or was there some time in between?
I think you might know me better than I know myself, because yeah, like I guess that would have been an obvious place to go with that. I didn't go with it. Yeah. So Christian was in that band, and Christian always tells me like, because before me and him started hanging out, he listened to just a lot of metalcore, like that was basically.
Did he play in a metalcore or maybe in several metalcore bands?
For sure he was in Dear Macbeth.
Okay.
Which that was with our friend Jamie, and they were sick. I feel like they were doing it better than most people at the time.
Yeah, I remember the band name, and I remember seeing flyers, but I don't know if I ever saw them.
Yeah. I feel like they were doing it better than they were at the time.
Yeah.
Better than most people at the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used to go to their shows and like dress up in weird clothes and throw down and stuff, which is sick. But yeah, from like that band. Oh yeah, he was in A Dawn's Day Past. I don't know if you remember that band.
I don't.
It was essentially like a Day to Remember ripoff band. And
there was a lot of those.
Yeah. He played drums in that, and that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then I don't even remember what question. Oh yeah, so back to how All the Pandas Are Dead kind of bled into Cali Cousins. So Chris, like when he started hanging out with me, I started showing him like Such Gold and like Polar Bear Club and like 4 Year Strong and stuff like that, and the Wonder Years, and like I guess specifically I think 4 Year Strong kind of like bridged the gap for him between like his metalcore days and like kind of like pop punk and like going into like hardcore and emo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he always tells me that like I like showed him like all this music that he like really like didn't know about.
Yeah.
And then now he like shows me everything. I don't have any like I don't like find any of my own music. I just listen to whatever he's listening to. But yeah, so he started listening to that around that time because we started hanging out, and we were just wanted to start a pop punk band. I wanted to be a front man. So like when California Cousins first started, we were definitely a pop punk band, I would say. We had a couple breakdowns, and yeah, that was I don't know. That's how it happened, I guess.
Was Casey a member of California Cousins like right off the bat, or did he join later? I honestly don't remember.
He joined later, so Cody Weisinger was our original bassist
of Unwill, correct?
Yeah, he's an Unwill band now. Yeah,
trying to name drop as much as we can.
Yeah, so he's an Unwill now, and they just signed to a record label, released a music video, stuff like that, and Yeah. So he was our original bassist. Then he started doing stuff with Until We Are Ghosts at the time, I believe. And then, yeah. So I think he kind of was off doing his own thing. And Until We Are Ghosts was like, I don't know, obviously doing better than California Cousins. And so he was doing that at the time. And we were just like, oh, well, Casey wants to be in the band, so
Nice.
we'll have Casey in the band.
Nice. Yeah, Casey knows everyone too.
Yeah, Casey does know everyone.
I've been meaning to have Casey on the podcast for a long time because
Yeah.
I've known Casey for a long time, but he's elusive, as we
Yeah.
all know.
he can bring the ska hour to your podcast. You get Al Brundage on.
Dude, I want to have Al on the podcast.
You definitely
I think
should.
I think that would be an interesting listen.
Yeah, let's call him up.
Yeah.
Let's get him
All
over
right.
here right now.
What year was that you guys started Cali Cousins?
That was 2012,
Okay.
which is crazy. And like our first EP, technically like this year, it turns 5, which is like insane to me.
Yeah, not to make it about me, but I just, the mark just passed with Endangered Youth putting out Furtherance 5 years ago, and that's
Damn.
nuts that
Yeah.
went. Speaking of Al Brundage and
Right, yeah.
5 years.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
super. Ugh, I don't like to think about it.
Yeah, because I don't think I saw you guys until maybe 2014.
I feel like that's when we got Casey in the band and started like kind of taking things more seriously.
Yeah, because he was in Keeler before. Was that before or around the same time?
I think technically he joined Keeler and he was in Keeler and like they had Chris join, and then that kind of like became Casey joined California Cousins.
Yeah.
So, and then we were both kind of doing our thing around the same time, and then
Yeah.
I don't know, Keeler stopped.
Yeah. Was that how much of your change of sound kind of had to do with Keeler ending and Casey playing more of a role in the band?
Probably not a lot, honestly, just because I feel like it was just like more or less
Coincidence?
Yeah, because I feel like we were both like me and Christian were both getting like more like heavily into like emo music and stuff.
Yeah.
And we kind of I think we're headed that direction, and then it just so happened that Keeler was like stopping at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So like at that point, I think it was Keeler's last show was my first show playing bass and singing.
Okay.
And then Casey moved over to guitar.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm glad I'm not a frontman anymore because that's super awkward.
Yeah, the first time I saw you guys was at Panda Man,
Yeah.
and you were a front man. So
Oh shit.
yeah. I'm pretty sure you were. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I was too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The place was cool. I wish it.
That
could've-
place was awesome
Yeah, it was interesting.
and very short-lived.
Yeah, very short-lived. Yeah, well, that was kind of in between. I wasn't doing a lot here.
Yeah.
It was kind of the bridge in between Meat Grinder stuff and then doing like lots of shows here. So
Yeah.
it was a good time. But so what else? What was the name of that first release?
I was gonna name drop it, and then like it kind of like I'm kind of blanking out, honestly.
Is it still on your Bandcamp, or did you take it down?
It's still it's private, so like no one can listen to it or download it. At some point, like maybe once we're like more established, I would like to make that not private so people can see like kind of the progression.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And there was like another EP that's like not up on our Bandcamp called No More Summers, and that was like a 3-song thing, and that kind of like bridged the gap between the first one and George's Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, I can't think of the name. I don't know what it is.
Were there physical copies out there somewhere? Or was it- okay.
So, it was called Milk Carton Kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was called Milk Carton Kids. we had like CDs that we made with like a label maker, kind of like you can print like onto like big stickers essentially that go right on the CD.
Nice.
So that's how we did that, and yeah, it was weird, and we
So if I find a copy of that somewhere, it's rare. I gotta
it's
hold
rare.
on to it. Or if somebody listening wants to send me a copy,
yeah.
like I'm always down to collect old rare Rochester demos.
And a little disclaimer: we we had a lot of growing up to do at the time. So there's like an incredibly offensive bonus track on there that's like a rap track. And if anyone has that and has listened to it recently, I'm sorry. That's not us anymore.
Now I really want to find it.
Oh yeah, you gotta get your hands on it and destroy it at all costs.
I definitely understand. I have recordings of younger me saying awful things that I'm not proud of as well. But so George's Bridge, when did that come out? And that's
I think fall of 2015.
cool.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And we've been slacking a little bit. We have a full length, completely written. It was kind of supposed to be fully recorded before we went on our tour.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say too much about it, but we were recording with someone from FLCC.
Okay.
And it was like for a project they were doing. And like, as most people listening would probably know, like FLCC has like nice ass studios, like ridiculously nice studios. So we were like, oh yeah, like free recording at like a nice studio. The workflow just didn't really happen as planned. And so we got some really nice free drum recordings, and like in this next like month or two we're going to be re-recording probably everything else.
Right.
But the drums sound really nice. I mean, a lot of it sounded nice. It was just maybe not the way we wanted it to be. So
it's hard when you're working with somebody else's timeline.
Right. Yeah. And there's like a deadline and everything. So we got it done, enough of it done for their project, which is like, I guess what matters. And we got like free drum recordings at like a super nice studio.
Nice.
So it's a win-win, I guess.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of work to do in these next couple months, and we're gonna, I don't know, see where it takes us, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys just got back from a 2-month tour. This wasn't your first tour though, right?
No, yeah. We've done a bunch of like East Coast tours and like weekenders and little stuff like that. Well, I mean, like I think like maybe 3 weeks was like our biggest tour before this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it seems like you guys are going out often, like more than other bands at your level.
Yeah.
I don't know what level you guys are at. Like you guys are just my friends, so I don't have like any like I don't know how like big of a band you are to other
I don't
other
think
people
we're at
outside
like,
of the scene.
I don't think we're at any level, honestly. I think people just don't know who we are most of the time, and so yeah.
Cool. Then are when you do release this, are you guys gonna release it yourselves? Is it? Do you have anything in the works as far as a label?
We don't have anything planned. We came back from tour with enough money probably to finish recording, and
so you made money on tour. That's always a real positive thing.
Yeah, that's always super nice, and we have enough money probably to press it ourselves on vinyl.
Oh, awesome.
So we might do that. It'd always be cool. Like we're gonna probably reach out to a couple of labels, but I mean,
if any of you are listening,
yeah. If anyone wants to put out the new Kelly Cousins, hit me up, because it would definitely be nice to have like a label supporting us, but at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of bands that are doing it without a label, and they're doing just fine. And it's actually like, I don't know, I think it's really cool when bands do that. Like I know Oso just put out like their new album with like no label backing them or anything, and like it was super well received, and like it's like the production's super nice, just a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been
awesome.
jamming that a lot lately. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool when bands do stuff without a label, but then like obviously I feel like people take you more seriously for whatever reason if you are on a label.
There's benefits to both.
Right.
Yeah. So you were out for 2 months.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it was a super long time.
Any good tour stories? Any bad tour stories?
So the tour went a lot better than expected. I feel like I went into this tour having the same feeling that like I had when we went on our first tour, where I just assumed like we were going to lose money and it was going to be like this really like rough experience and something was going to go wrong, but like in the end it would all be worth it kind of thing.
I mean that's generally a good expectation to have with tour.
Yeah, that's what I assumed like the first tour going out, and then like when we got back from that one I was like, oh shit, like that was a lot better than anticipated. Yeah. I feel like this tour went kind of the same way. Like I remember that first night like playing our show, and like I was just like we were in New Brunswick, New Jersey. It was a cool show. Like everyone there was really awesome. The bands that played were sweet. And then, we played, I wasn't really feeling our set. And I just remember thinking like, oh shit, this is going to be like 2 months of this. Like, and like, there's probably going to be other stuff that goes wrong. But then, I don't know. It all went really well. We didn't really have any like van issues. I don't know. It was all really good. As far as tour stories, it's kind of interesting because I thought I would come back with more like wacky misadventures.
Yeah.
But there weren't a whole lot of wacky misadventures. The one that like stands out to me most is so we did the first 2 weeks of our tour with Prince Daddy and the Hyena.
Yeah.
From Albany. Those are our best friends. I love you guys. And so we played a show in Atlanta, and it was whatever. Like the show was cool.
Haven't I heard you say before that you guys do really well in Atlanta before?
I don't. No, we don't. I mean, we don't really do well in Atlanta, but like. Last time
was
we
it like
played
Savannah?
there,
I remember you saying somewhere in Georgia that you guys have done really well every time.
Oh, Savannah has always been sick. We used to always play at like this place called the Bomb Shelter, and I don't know if we were like, I don't think we were like well known. I think it was more just like a space thing where like the space is so cool that people just like, and it's like right on like, or maybe like right off the campus of like an art school and stuff.
Oh, cool.
So like, it was very cool, and everyone there is like super awesome and super welcoming. And but the Bomb Shelter has since disbanded, which sucks. Actually, one of the girls that used to live there, her name's Danielle Leonard, and she's like working for Top Shelf now.
Oh,
and she moved to
awesome.
San Diego, and she booked their show there,
cool.
Which was really cool. Hey, Danielle. But yeah, so we were in Atlanta. And it was after the show. And have you ever been to the restaurant Cookout?
I have not, but I've heard good things.
Shout outs to Cookout.
John Kiss, living down in Asheville, has talked about Cookout quite a bit.
Cookout
What's up, John?
is the spot. Yeah, John is not lying about that. So we went to Cookout after the show. And we were staying with the person that put it together for us, but he didn't come with us to Cookout because he was like just going home or whatever and getting stuff ready at his house.
Yeah,
to have like 6 people stay there. So we probably took a little longer than we should have at Cookout. I know like when you hang out with the P Daddy dudes, like they have to smoke up like before before everything essentially. So we hung out in their bus for a little while, like while they did that right before we went into Cookout. So that took a little while, and then it was like busier than anticipated. So, it was getting pretty late, and then, but I let the dude we were staying with know.
Yeah.
And he's like our friend. Like they've played here. I don't want to give out too much information, but he's our friend in Atlanta. But anyways, we went to his house after, and he comes out, and like as we walk in, we hear like a dog barking in the bedroom, but I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So he was just like, yeah, like go ahead, like you can stay here. Like he had all these spots laid out for us to like sleep and stuff, and we then he went out for like a cigarette on his back porch or whatever, and I go to the bathroom, and like as I'm walking down the hall, I hear his girlfriend call him on speakerphone from in that room where the dog was barking, and just like getting real upset with him about this, like just tearing this dude apart, like, you have no fucking respect, like I told you this was gonna happen, like I have to get up so early and stuff like that, and like just really like not happy, and like I mean I can relate. Like I've had to get up early and like something wakes me up and you're not happy, but so she was like, get your ass in here and all this stuff. So I thought I heard him coming, so I went into the bathroom and like did whatever. And when I got out, like they were both in there and they were like arguing. Like this dude's super chill, so like he was more just like listening and like getting yelled at and stuff. I felt super bad. I was like, wow, we fucked up. So
wrecking a relationship.
Yeah. Well, the story goes on a little bit. So like, P Daddy was having some van issues, so they rolled up like a little bit later, and like I went out to let them know, like, hey, like you got to be super quiet when you come in here. This is what's going on. And like Alex, their drummer, was like, fuck that, I'm not even coming inside, and he slept in the van. And then like Zachariah and Corey came in, and we kind of like all found our spots or whatever. And then me and Corey were sleeping on the futon that was like on the wall directly on the other side of where they were like arguing or whatever. Yeah. And so like we were just like up for a couple hours, just like listening, just like, and you couldn't really, it was like muffled through the wall, but I would like walk into the hallway and like kind of lean in and like see what was going on. And, anyways, to kind of cut this story a little bit shorter, well, actually, I want to add that at some point he came, the person we were staying with came out of the room with his girlfriend, offered us a drink, and like totally normal, like nothing was going on. It was just like, hey, like, are you guys thirsty? Do you need anything? And then like he pointed to Juan and he was like, hey, you don't have to sleep on the ground. There's like another bedroom you can stay in. Like there's a whole nother bed. Like super hospitable, like just like super nice, as if nothing's going on at all. And then he goes back in and like gets yelled at again. I felt so bad. In the morning, this person's profile picture used to be a picture of him and his girlfriend. Yeah. It was just a picture of him at that point, and like the relationship status has changed to single.
Oh, dang.
And so I left a note, kind of apologizing, and then like I messaged him later. So if you're listening to this, this story's about you, and I'm sorry. But I hope we're just like the straw that kind of like broke the camel's back, and not just like the catalyst of every problem in their relationship. But
dude, that's so weird to be in the middle of a situation like that.
Yeah, it was interesting.
So, you guys are back, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's great to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, let's talk about the scene here, because I feel like your band, in a lot of ways, is the backbone of Rochester DIY.
I appreciate that.
Because you guys are, I feel like a member of your band is at almost every DIY show that happens in Rochester. Yeah. So, what is so special to you? What is so special about this scene? And, you know, what are some of your favorite bands that are happening here right now?
So I think it took me a while to realize that, like, just like the DIY community in general is super cool. And like it's just like a way to make friends and stuff. And like I've never been like much of a party goer, so like because a lot of times I feel awkward at parties, and like I don't really like drink or do any of that. So like it's kind of like me just like interacting with people, and I don't know, it's kind of like maybe not my it's just I don't know. It's just an awkward thing sometimes. Not that I don't like going to parties and just hanging out with people, but
if you're having a party, invite Jordan.
Yeah, please, no one invites me. Yeah, so I feel like going to like DIY shows is just like a good way to bond with people. That's like, I feel like the best ways to bond with people are probably like drinking, smoking, or music. So I guess like for me, it's mostly music.
Yeah, music is just your drug of choice.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. So I feel like that's what's like what really. I finally realized that at some point, like, oh, this is just like, it's like going to a party, but like without like as many of like the social pressures. Like you can stand next to people and like watch a band. You don't necessarily like have to talk like as much, and like talking in between sets, like you have something to say. It's like, oh, like that band was cool, or like, oh, that band was not that great, but they're doing their thing. So I feel like, I don't know, it takes a lot of like the social pressure and like social anxieties and stuff that maybe you'd feel like in like a party situation, kind of out of the equation. So I don't know, that's cool. But there's a lot of cool bands. Obviously like Druce is like one of my favorite Rochester bands right now. They're
friends of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So Druce is incredible. Taking Mad's new album is probably tied for like my top album of 2016. Like, so fucking good. And I know they're like kind of like half and half Rochester, like half like New York City, Brooklyn area. But yeah, they're so good. It's just crazy like being able to play with like so many talented bands. Another one is like Kind of Kind. Yeah, like they're really awesome. And then
are they still going to continue now that Arjun's moving?
Yeah, actually,
awesome.
They are going to be playing at Small World Books on 420. I just got the confirmation that they're going to be playing a show that I'm booking there. So, yeah, roll out to that.
Nice.
There's no event page or anything yet. I'm still finding some other bands, but
I should have Nigel on the show.
Yeah, Nigel. I'm sure Nigel will have some like very interesting things to say.
He always seems like somebody who's got a lot of cool things to say. What's up, Nigel?
Hey, Nigel, shout out.
Let's do a podcast.
Yeah, so I don't know. Those are some of my favorites right now. We also just played with Del Paxton on Saturday night.
I didn't come. I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah, I mean, that was sick. That was like their album release, and for Rochester, because they're based out of Buffalo. And I don't know. It was awesome getting to see a lot of people that like I haven't seen since I've been back in Rochester.
Yeah.
We just got back on Monday, so I saw a lot of people on Saturday, and Del Paxton is like also incredible.
Yeah,
and
I haven't heard the new record yet, but the last record is phenomenal.
Yeah, they're amazing, and like they're just the nicest dudes in the world. So it's hard like not to want them to succeed.
Yeah.
So definitely hop on Spotify, hop on Bandcamp. Del Paxton is doing it big.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other tours coming up? Or are you just in recovery mode?
Honestly, I can speak for myself and I can speak for Chris. I'm not sure about Juan. I didn't feel any like need for recovery like after this tour. Like I feel like everything just went so well and it was so fun, and like we got to see so many things that like we never thought we'd be able to see. Maybe. I just wanted to keep going. Honestly, the only reason like I wanted to come home was like probably like, I mean, my mom, my dad, and then like my girlfriend. So,
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Shout out. Yeah. So, but yeah, as far as tours being planned, we don't have anything planned right now. We want to do some weekenders. Shout out to Druce. Shout out to Del Paxton. Shout out to Perspective, a lovely hand to hold. If y'all want to do some weekenders or a week with us, we want to find some like bands that we haven't toured with to like hit up and just do some little stuff here or there. And
Let's do a Treadwater and Cali Cousins weekend.
Oh yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah,
It's like weird pairing, but we're all friends. Whatever.
yeah,
Let's
for
do it.
sure. I mean, we've like, yeah, we would definitely love to do that.
Planning future weekends on the
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah, here we go. But yeah, we want to do like probably like 2 weeks during the summer, and then hopefully maybe a couple more weeks in like late October.
Cool.
So,
And when can we expect the new record?
that is tough to say, especially if we're getting it pressed. I feel like that was one of the reasons why we're maybe not as much seeking like label support, because I feel like if you get something pressed to vinyl and it's like through a label, they want to have it all at once.
Yeah.
And it just slows things down so much. So I would hope by like when tour comes around again in like late October, like mid to late October, I would hope, but I guess we'll see what happens between now and then. I don't know. If anyone wanted to put it out, then it might take longer, but we'll see.
Awesome. And do you guys have any upcoming shows that you want to plug? Whether it's Cali Cousin shows or whether it's shows that you've booked here or elsewhere, like at Small World Books, for example.
Yeah. So
if you put plugs in, it gives me a good reason to like push to get this out sooner than later. So
right. Okay.
up to
So I didn't book this, but this Friday Puddle Splasher's playing, right?
Yeah.
Did you book that?
I did.
Sick. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So roll out for Puddle Splasher because those are our boys. And
Man,
then,
now I got to get this out by the end of this week.
Yep, exactly.
Oh man.
Or, hopefully if maybe this is in the future after that happened, and hopefully you saw Puddle Splasher and thought they were awesome.
Yeah.
Either way. On the 14th, there's a band called Ridgewood from Minnesota and another band called Wellman, who I think is from Michigan. And,
man.
Yeah, and they're both awesome. They're going to be playing here at Vineyard, and they're friends of ours. We met them on this tour. And then on 420, two shows. Our friend Steve are playing with Kind of Kind at Small World Books, and they're a band from New Jersey. All right, and then also on 420, California Cousins, if anyone feels like making a trip to Albany, is playing probably one of the most stacked shows we've ever played with just a bunch of best friends. We're playing with Prince Daddy and the Hyena. Mm-hmm. We're playing with Jouska.
Best dudes.
Oso's playing that. And also Just Friends, who's an awesome ska band from California.
Cool.
And also, I think, a band called Hate Club, who I don't think I've ever...
Hate Breed.
Hate Breed's playing. I don't think I've ever met Hate Club or seen them, but I'm assuming if Corey felt like he wanted to add them to that lineup, that they're probably really awesome.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about that.
Very cool.
Hell yeah. think that would be all my plugs.
All right. Any other last words? Shout out. Who do you want to shout out before we close it?
Shout out to Eli Zarpentine. What's up? Shout out to Eli Zarpentine again. Shout out to Sebastian. So you can listen to this, Sebastian Sensation. Shout out to Alleys in general. They're sick.
Word.
And I know they're starting to play some shows again. They have one coming up, I think, this month. And yeah, shout out Mom and Dad. That's all.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been rad.
Yeah. Also, California Cousins is playing the Carpool EP release show in Brockport on March 24th. And that's a sick lineup, so should be fun.
It is. Carpool just put out a new EP.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, I only listened to the one song because I haven't listened since they put the whole thing up. But
Yeah.
It sounds dope.
Yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. You just heard Baby Casey by California Cousins. If you check the show notes, I'm going to put in the links to the Facebook events that exist for some of those shows that Jordan was talking about. And as always, links to whatever bands were mentioned. And yeah, go to a local show, support our scene, or if you don't live in Rochester and you're listening in Pennsylvania or wherever, go out and support your local scene and the bands that are doing cool stuff. Alright guys, thanks so much for listening. I've got some other really cool interviews coming up, and I don't want to give anything away because plans change, life is hectic, but I'm pretty excited about some of the upcoming things that are going to be happening with this show. So keep checking back. I did just create a Tumblr page. So if you go to soi'vebeentold.tumblr.com, I'll be posting the
links to the episodes, as well as probably some other cool stuff on that page. So I don't really know how Tumblr works. I literally just made the page today, and I've never done it before. So like or follow or whatever you do on there. And as always, you can like and follow me on Facebook at So I've Been Told, or my personal page. I'm always up for new friends. So all right, thank you guys so much for listening, and I will be back hopefully pretty soon. Have a great week.